What's up? Hey, how are we doing today? Ever since sharing news of my pregnancy, your number one question has been, how are you training? Are we weightlifting? Are we running? Core training? Stopping training? What changes are we making now that we know we're growing a literal baby? So I figured the best way to start addressing some of these questions would be to take you through a week of workouts with me. At the time of making this video, I am nearing the end of my second trimester. So we'll do this now, but I do feel like it would make sense to come back, do a repeat of this video when I have a bit more belly, maybe when I'm feeling a little bit more heavy, a little bit more low energy, third trimester kind of thing. I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. But before we get into it, I want to say a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you're not familiar, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring and creative classes for anybody who loves learning. The past few weeks have been crazy and exciting, and I've been experiencing so many new things, but I have also been completely off my routine, and I realize with the stage that I am at in this pregnancy, I'm going to continue probably changing my routine, because even just week to week, I am learning so many things about my body. My energy levels are changing. I'm still kind of dealing with the fact that it is shocking that I have been growing a baby. So a big priority for me has been efficiency with my energy, not just being busy, but being productive within my routine. So to help with this, I have been taking Thomas Frank's class on productivity for creatives, where he teaches you how to build a system that brings out your best. I'm sure this is at least partially a pregnancy thing, but I have been feeling so scattered lately. You've probably seen this notebook everywhere with me. You'll definitely see it in today's video, but like what I write in here is just anything that crosses my mind. Reminders, pep talks, notes to self, anything that I need to remember or I'm hoping to remember, but like it is messy. You can kind of see this thing messy, and there's even more on my computer. So what I really appreciate about this class is that he breaks down the very practical aspects of productivity, like curating your physical and digital workspaces to stay distraction free and reduce resistance to getting work done. There's a ton more in this class, but if you want to check out Skillshare for yourself, the first 1,000 people to use my code or click the link in the description box down below will get a 1-month free trial, so you can start exploring their classes, start exploring your own creativity and productivity.
So as you can see, my warm-ups have not really changed that much. I am putting a little bit more emphasis on opening my hips, making sure that everything in that region is feeling good, because it has been a little locked up. But next, what we're gonna move into is core activation. Doing a bit of breathing activation, some core exercises, just how like you may activate your glutes if you're trying to strengthen or grow your glutes before a workout. I'm focused on my core. I want this baby to have a nice, safe and sound, strong home.
Welcome to my workouts. Surprise, we are training full body. I do 3 full body workouts per week, stay active in between, split my time between gym and home training, depending how my schedule is looking and how I'm feeling. Now, I'm a big fan of the landmine attachment, highly recommend. It's basically a base you put one end of the barbell into, then it pivots with you. So more flexibility than a gym machine or Smith machine, but enough stability that you can do cool variations like these, or just have a little extra help with your balance during pregnancy.
So that's definitely a more advanced exercise. I would not recommend introducing advanced exercises, trying kind of wacky new variations or fast, explosive type things during your pregnancy if it's not something you've already been doing. I just think from a purely safety standpoint, when I'm making exercise recommendations, even though I'm not an expert on pregnancy training, like probably just err on the side of caution. That is what I'm doing today, but I did really like this. It is a variation of the thruster exercise, which I like because it lets you push a little bit more weight on shoulders by using your legs, except this one has more of a glute focus because you're actually like hinging into it. The key with the form is to make sure that when you get to the top, you're squeezing your glutes, keeping them engaged, compressing the core to make sure it's properly engaged, and then stacking the weight in the arms overhead. So like I'm not gonna like lean into it because I don't actually have it right now, but you should feel like at the top, you're leaning into the landmine attachment before bringing it back down. My hat was kind of getting in the way, so my form wasn't like perfect, but my core did feel good and I didn't feel any straining in the pelvic area. Focusing on with the pull-up, because we're starting from such an extended core position, is making sure that I'm being very intentional with my breathing. And from the moment that I start pulling from that bottom position, I am tucking my pelvis, compressing my ribs, exhaling as I work to compress and stabilize the core. As if you don't do that, it can put a lot of strain on those core muscles. If you're not comfortable with that, if it just feels funny, it might be a good time to maybe swap out pull-ups for something that's a little bit more stable, like a lat pull down, a machine, back exercise, something like that. For now though, this does feel fine for me.
Yeah, so funny story about deadlift. Before I knew I had baby, I was maxing out, hitting 1RMs, 250 and up, baby, which I have now stopped doing as I'm focused on not putting excess strain on my core or pelvic floor. If you don't know what strain in the pelvic floor feels like, pregnancy or no pregnancy, ladies, do yourself a favor, look it up, learn about your anatomy. This is what can lead to issues with peeing, leaking, prolapse, not fun things.
Simple swap for the hip thrust if either you are pregnant like me and trying to avoid direct impact on the tummy, or if hip thrusts are just uncomfortable for you, you can substitute for a kneeling thrust. Some people call it a kneeling squat. You can do it on the Smith machine. You can do it with like a barbell or dumbbells on your shoulders. Of course, it's not the exact same exercise, but it is better than nothing if you have to make the substitution. I like doing it on the Smith machine because I can really like sit, you'll see in a sec, sit my weight back into the exercise to get that stretch in the glutes.
What is up? So we just got to the climbing gym. Jeff is looking for his elbow sleeve, which I do not believe is in the car. He's very upset about, but we are still gonna get our climb in. We are gonna do our best because because this is our end of day relaxation time. We cherish this. We look forward to this. Consider yourself blessed to be included in this. Before you comment it, but isn't that dangerous? What's dangerous is being miserable during pregnancy, not trusting or feeling confident in your body, and sinking into a bad place mentally. I started climbing a few months ago before we knew about baby as a change of pace and activity I could immerse myself in fully to switch off at the end of the workday. This has been an incredible outlet for me mentally without the same strain as something like running as a form of stress relief. Recently, I've been doing easier routes, climbing rather than jumping down, and stopping immediately if I feel any strain or early fatigue that might lead to falling. It is kind of funny to already be anticipating mom shaming, but I stay ready. It's my body and baby to carry. I'm making this pregnancy work for me, and I can't wait to bring baby climbing when they're ready.
Tip number 1 of the day, if you're pregnant, man spreading. If you're not pregnant, practice man spreading now. We're reclaiming this position, ladies, for pregnancy, for general comfort and hip mobility. Anyways, as you can see, we are working out at home today. I've been splitting my time between gym and home training. If you are new to my channel, during COVID, I basically took 2 years to switch from gym lifting to home workouts, fully master, figure out how to make it work for me. So today we're doing that again. We're gonna be doing a little full body workout, lots of compound exercises. The main difference is that we are going to be modifying some things because today I am just feeling extra heavy. I feel like gravity has become more intense for me, particularly on the front side of my body. So we're gonna adapt the range of motion, make some modifications, have fun with it. Next superset, we're letting the baby know what's coming up next. We're gonna be supersetting a gorilla row with a standing good morning. I love this superset. If you've ever trained with me in the Team Plants app or on the YouTube channel, you've probably seen this before because it's very easy to transition from one exercise to the next. We're doing a little back focus, a little back of body, hamstring and glute focus, get a little bit of core work in there, which isn't something that I intentionally try to add into all of my exercises. It just kind of works out that way when you're training with free weights. Last superset of this workout, we are just gonna be using this 25-pound plate as well as the lightest long resistance band I have. You may think I'm crazy doing running and or interval training during pregnancy, especially at this stage of pregnancy. And I get that because there's a lot of information and opinions on pregnancy training online. Now, I will make the disclaimer, of course, if your doctor has told you that you should be on bed rest, that you should only be doing low impact or low intensity activity during your pregnancy, I am not your doctor, I am not a doctor, this is not medical advice, I'm just sharing what I am learning very quickly on my own pregnancy journey. And I know there is a guideline floating around on the internet that says that during pregnancy, your heart rate should not go above 140 beats per minute. This is outdated advice. This is old advice. The logic behind it was that if you train at an intensity higher than that, you're gonna be directing too much blood flow to your muscles away from the baby. Of course, there may be risks with that, but since then, new research has come out to suggest that there are actually many benefits to moderate intensity training, especially if you're someone like me, who there's maybe an activity that you love, like running or cycling, and you don't really have huge concerns around tripping or falling or risks outside of intensity, then yeah, you're probably best to continue doing that because there are a lot of benefits to physical activity during pregnancy. I also actually really liked something that my doulas posted on Instagram where they were explaining that, like, yes, do physical activity, but don't be afraid to listen to your body. And if you're feeling good, remember, labor and delivery are basically interval training. Like, there are going to be these waves of challenging intensity, but then they're going to back off. You're gonna get a little bit of rest and recovery, and then you're gonna go again. So it's not like intervals of intensity or waves of intensity, however you want to see it. It's not like it's something that your body or your baby are unprepared for. I'm saying like your body or your baby. I'm talking about my body, my baby. I'm including a little bit of interval training. I'm doing a little bit of moderate intensity training. I'm listening to my body, but I'm also doing what feels good for me and what's going to give me the most confidence going into this journey that I'm so excited about.
Just finished today's run. Big tip, if you've been struggling with constipation during pregnancy, as I think the whole world knows that I have been now, yeah, get moving, because it will also get you moving. Early on in today's run, we did take a little bathroom break, but after that, I didn't actually feel better right away. It took me about like 5 minutes to start feeling it again, so I just dropped my pace. I'm like, you know, you can get off at 20 minutes. You don't have to do intervals if you're not feeling it. But then I remembered labor and delivery, want to be strong for baby. Slowed down, did a little mental health walk for a couple minutes, and then we kept going, and I had a great rest of my workout. I think I ended up doing just about 35 minutes, and miraculously, somehow my average pace was still like a 9 minute per mile, which we had like an 8:38 best mile. It's quite frankly shocking to me looking at it now. Average heart rate was 159, so we're still in a nice zone. I felt like I could talk the whole time, and I did hold myself back as I was thinking of going a little faster on my intervals at the end. I'm like, no. Control yourself. That'll be for after the pregnancy. Right now, this is a different kind of challenge. Average cadence was 179. I had a great run. I'm so happy I did that today.
Last day of the workout week, and going into today's workout, I was sleepy. I know I don't technically need to cut caffeine, but that's what I've been doing, and today I was feeling it. Both before and during this pregnancy, I've aimed for 3 full body workouts per week and staying active in between. Week to week, I'll adapt as needed to match my energy, doing higher or lower intensity, more or less running, but this is a routine that's realistic for me and leaves me with enough time for living, which is becoming increasingly important as I'm preparing to have a baby. I know my routine will continue to change as I progress with this pregnancy, but for now, my goal is to stick with this and adapt as needed to my growing belly. This video is getting long, but before I go, let me know, would you want to see an updated version of this maybe in a month's time? Maybe a more in-depth video on the science of training during pregnancy, like weightlifting, running? Let me know in the comments down below. I so appreciate you keeping up with this journey. So thank you for watching, and next video, be ready for an even bigger belly.